Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with LIA CHANG. I'm your host, LIA CHANG. This summer, Counterpoint Contemporary presented a solo exhibition of artwork by Giancarlo Impiglia, a 2025 Spotlight artist at the Hamptons Fine Art Fair. As the art world celebrates the 100th anniversary of the Art Deco movement, HFAF saluted Giancarlo, whose longtime artistic sensibility, which began in the 1970s, has championed and revitalized this important genre. I had a chance to sit down with Giancarlo last summer to learn more about his Renaissance life. Today I'm in Bridgehampton and I'm visiting with one of my very dear friends, the very prolific artist and painter, Giancarlo Impiglia.
Perfect.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Backstage Pass with LIA CHANG. It's so lovely. I get to see you once a year in the summertime. On this very gorgeous day in Bridgehampton.
Oh, yeah.
His first major commission came in 1974, a 60-foot mural which still decorates the lobby of 99 John Street, a building designed by the same architects as the Empire State Building. 99 John established Giancarlo's signature style. It's far more than simply decorative or aesthetically pleasing, which is how it's so often described. Indeed, the deliberate beauty of his work are a critique on the materialism and superficiality of society. Each figure is depicted as indifferent, faceless satires defined entirely by the folds of their gowns and the glitter of their jewelry. As they blend together into one another and into the background, forming a single tapestry of color and form, their individual identities and true selves, complete with their ambitions, desires, and obsessions, remain obscure. Giancarlo reminds us of the fallacy of individualism and the power of trends and the market. Now, where were you born and raised?
Rome, Italy.
And how long have you lived in the United States?
50 years. So as you can see, I'm not a young fellow anymore.
How old were you when you first started creating art?
Maybe 5, 6, yeah.
And did you feel, did you have other artists in your family?
Well, I come from a family of musicians, craftspeople. My father was a great craftsman, and so it was a joyous family. A lot of music. And my father used to sing and play mandolin, playing guitar. We used to have parties in the family. Everyone was playing something.
So I actually, given that your earlier works, you're known from the party scenes, it almost sounds like it comes from how joyous your family.
I think it has to do with that. Also, it has to do with the fact that I spent many years as a musician playing in a fantastic, famous nightclubs in Europe.
All right, and what
From Italy to England to France.
So you are of the nightlife scene.
Absolutely. I used to go to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I do that now.
In fact,
I'm not blaming
now I suffer of insomnia because I go to bed at 11 o'clock. I can't sleep until midnight to 1 o'clock. But it's amazing. I think it has to do a lot with my previous life within the family and within my musical career, But I always painted because I studied art.
Okay. And
I didn't study music.
All right, but what instruments did you play? Do you play?
Well, I studied the accordion when I was a kid. And then I studied guitar and I studied bass, the big bass, contrabass. And at some point, the usual thing that happens among students, when the students, they form a band.
Right.
So I was part of a band in art school, and it happens that we became successful. So one year after another, we made some records, we made television, we were all over the place.
So you could support yourself
Absolutely.
as a musician traveling
Absolutely,
the world.
yeah, I've been around, yes. And at some point we ended up in Tunisia, in Morocco, then back to Italy, then we went to France, we went to, beside Paris, we went to London after. In London, I was in a television show. I met Petula Clark. It was a fun, was a heck of a life, let's say. Was a very, well, I don't want to be nostalgic, but was very, very emotionally stimulating, let's say.
Now, you said you went to art school, and I'd like to know what you studied when you were in art school.
Art history, mathematics, anything that you learn in school, but also many, many hours of apprenticeship in drawing, painting, sculpture with some of the great masters of the Italian after World War II school. So this was very influential to me, being part of this community of professors that were famous artists,
Right.
as well as a community of young students, very ambitious. They wanted to make into the art world. So practically within all my life, I was always within the arts. From music to paintings to sculpture to art history. And growing up like this, I think had an impact. The period that I really love, which is modernism of the beginning of the 20th century.
Okay.
And that is basically, it's always been my main inspiration, from Picasso to Matisse to Léger, Delanois, all the Cubists, but then also the Italian Futurists, which is a difficult concept. They are not really well known here in the United States, historically important. I participated to the Southampton Art Fair in July, this past July.
So it was very recent.
Yes, and I exhibited a number of new works, totally different from what I used to do or what I've done before. In fact, they are not canvases, but sheet metals. Metals, how do you say? Sheets of metals, mainly lead. So I painted on lead.
Okay.
And I painted my semi-abstract concept, lead covered with gold, with silver, with other kind of mediums.
So it was a multimedia.
Multimedia, but mainly
artwork.
you can see the lead, and you can see a lot of gold. And I used the gold to emphasize the fact that the lead that is below is a poor metal, and where the gold is having an impact on the poor. The gold, so the rich, we have the rich and poor.
So it's political.
It is
it's
also
a political painting.
They are actually. They have this idea of being political without being political, and I find it very interesting. So I did a series of these paintings on lead, but also paintings on wood. And I eliminated basically the idea of painting on canvas, the traditional medium that everyone is using. So it was very interesting, the response of the people. Very, very interesting, because they were looking, many, you see, I'm known for the party scenes, elegant people in black tie, elegant gowns, etc. But they know me for that, but they don't know me with this other concept. So,
But artists evolve and grow.
oh, I always did. I've been doing different works all my life. But it happens that once they give you a label, it's difficult to detach.
Sure.
You know, maybe you have a label too. I don't know.
Well. With the multi-hyphenates that I have, it's sort of hard to pin me down.
See, so that's to respond to your question. It's quite difficult, you know.
Sure.
And but anyway, I continue to work, creating new things, and recently a collector of mine asked me for a sculpture. And I said to him, what do you want me to do? Something that is related to the past or to the present? He said, no, I want something related to the past. And I said, yes, I'll do something related to the past, but will be today. And I did a sculpture.
Okay.
And when they saw it, him and his wife, they went strangely, they went crazy.
Crazy good.
Crazy good, very
awesome.
good.
Giancarlo went on to participate in the famed Absolut Vodka campaign of the 80s, alongside Warhol and Haring. Through the 80s and 90s, he exhibited in numerous galleries in New York and elsewhere, weaving himself into the fabric of the city. A series of murals for Cafe Society, immortalized in the films Big and Boomerang, are a pure representation of that age. So are his many works for Cunard's Queens, which are particularly reminiscent of the Art Deco style to fit the aesthetic of these luxury cruise ships and to hearken to the golden age of sea travel. 3 large murals hang in the QE2, now a luxury floating hotel in Dubai. 4 more murals hang on the Queen Mary II and 3 on the new Queen Elizabeth.
I do a few things. I do maybe an art fair. I have a few collectors, but mostly is outside of this community. New York, Miami, Los Angeles,
Right.
Then in Europe, particularly in London.
His work is now part of prominent private and public collections around the world, including that of Elton John, the Museum of the City of New York, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and the Wilfredo Lam Center in Havana, Cuba. He held an important retrospective at the National Arts Club in Gramercy in 2016. 3 publications are dedicated to his enduring career: the aforementioned Giancarlo Impiglia Paintings for the Queens, The Art of Giancarlo Impiglia, and Giancarlo Impiglia Recent Works. Giancarlo's story is very much that of New York City, and with stints as a popular musician in Italy, a graphic designer, and a photojournalist, he embodies the true artist who will stop at nothing to see his vision fulfilled. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Backstage Pass with LIA CHANG. Until next time.